Some people don't believe William Shakespeare wrote the works credited to him, in part because he didn't have a university education. These doubters have identified other writers of the time as the authors of Shakespeare's work, but they never have been able to prove their theories. Maybe some people can't believe that a man of humble background could pen some of the greatest plays ever written, but that seems to be exactly what happened. The Northern Renaissance was pretty well established in England by the time William Shakespeare went to London to work as an actor, leaving his family behind. He joined an acting group called Lord Chamberlain's Men. William also wrote plays for the group. He wrote different types of plays: comedies, funny, tragedies, sad, and histories about real people's lives. The Greek and Roman classics forged Shakespeare's imagination. Women weren't allowed to act at the time, so men and young boys played the female roles. The acting troupe built a theater called the Globe across the River Thames from the city of London. It could accommodate up to 3,000 people and became a very popular pastime for people of all walks of life. At the time, many people couldn't read or write, so the Globe Theater hung a flag outside to show what type of play was being performed. If it was a comedy, a white flag hung; a tragedy, a black or a dark flag; and a history, a red flag. Most of Shakespeare's plays were written during the Elizabethan Age, or the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. The Elizabethan Age is considered to be a time of English Renaissance that inspired national pride through classical ideals, international expansion, and naval triumph. Elizabeth spoke many languages and wrote poetry herself, and was also a gifted musician. And she was also the patron of the Globe Theater. When King James became king, the Lord Chamberlain's Men changed their name to the King James Men, and King James became the group's patron. Many people think that some of William's best plays were written during these years, many of them tragedies such as Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. William wrote nearly 40 plays, as well as poetry and poems called sonnets. His work, combined with his property and land investments, made him very wealthy. In 1613, the Globe Theater burned down when the thatched roof caught fire during a performance of Henry VIII. It was rebuilt the following year with a tiled roof, but was later demolished to make room for housing. Some 350 years later, a modern version was built, opening in 1997 on the banks of the Thames River. His plays give us the greatest sense of the value of human life, of how people live, of how people love, and of the importance of human relationships than any of the writers of his time or any other time. The themes explored in Shakespearean plays are still relevant. This is because they are related to basic human nature, which remains constant regardless of evolutionary, industrial, or scientific developments.